everybody. I live in southwest Utah. It is very, very hot right now. And I live in the desert because I love to hike. So I've never seen a piece like this. This is 2.5 inches and it's ceramic. But what's interesting is they've textured it. And I recognize this texture. I think it's from a paper towel. So that's what gave it this texture. Beautiful hand painting. It is signed. Here's the back. I do clean everything, so if there's residue that's left over, that's just there. Yeah, so I was trying to think. I was like, is it a golf ball? Is it a, what is it? But just a big old ceramic brooch. And she is vintage. So one of my interests is art. I did not major in art history, um, and that has always been a mistake. I actually majored in paralegal studies, which I have used 0 days of my life. And had I majored in art history, I would have used the color wheel and the informations about artists every single day in this job. But that is my long way of introducing this perfume locket because it reminded me very much of Van Gogh. Now, there's no perfume in this, but the smell is still there, so be aware of that. But it hasn't, solidified. Sometimes those vintage lockets can get a little grody inside. And so a Van Gogh vintage sunflower. Not associated with Van Gogh, it just reminded me of that. And sometimes I have whole shows where everything will be based on Van Gogh or based on Monet or based on Georgia O'Keeffe. Frida Kahlo is a popular one, and I only do about one a month, if that, because I have to read books to be able to talk with any kind of intelligence. But I find that, I can sit there and be like, purple and green goes together. Wear purple and green. And I can show you this and you can say, Sarah, does purple and green really go together? And then I can pull out a Van Gogh book and I can say, purple and green go together, because Van Gogh studied color theory pretty religiously. And he actually, all of his books, because it was the late 1800s, were in black. So he studied the color theory from grayscale, which I find fascinating. So this is actually from J. Crew. It's 6.5 inches. And I don't see a lot of bracelets from J. Crew. I see a lot of necklaces like this. I've never seen a bracelet like this before. And the color palettes that we're working with, magenta, emerald, turquoise, taupe, black and clear. She has all of her stones. And we'll go at 7. I put in some special treats into the show that typically I price for double, but I just wanted it to be a beautiful show to watch. And a lot of people, well, not just people, cats weirdly fall in love with the sound of my voice. So if one of your cats is looking at the screen, hi, cats. Hi. Cats were my biggest fan and my earliest fan. Yeah, it's really unique. And that's one reason I love J. Crew so much. The second is the quality is very good. They prong set their stones, but they just go with these amazing colorways. And thank you so much, Louisiana. We have a vintage faux pearl necklace. It's ivory tone, it's lightweight, and it is 24 inches. Yeah, as far as what I source, sometimes bling comes to me naturally, but the new bling, the only modern bling I intentionally source are Chico's and J. Crew, because I know it's not going to fall apart on you. And most of the modern bling, stuff that you might get at the Target, will just fall apart on you. And so I do something called the Target Challenge, which is the next time you're in Target, go to the jewelry aisle and look at the floor underneath. There might be a shelf there, and you look at that and you see all these stones. The fringe is there, the tassels are there. One time there was a cute pair of earrings, and there was a whole entire display of these fringe earrings that I wanted for myself. I could not find one pair with all their tassels intact. And that is why I'm so enthusiastic about vintage, because this piece is, I'm 42. This piece is older than I am, and she's in fantastic condition. So, yeah, next time you're at the Target, you go ahead and see if I'm right. The jewelry can't even hang there without falling apart. And that's why these communities where we make vintage affordable and accessible, because I truly live out in the desert. Thank you so much, Miss Behave. Congratulations on your win. Um, I live about 50 miles, so 100 miles round trip to get to a Kohl's. And Kohl's is the nicest store there. The second nicest store is Target. And so, I literally live in a desert. And the fact that I can get into these shows and, collect my weird heads and find beautiful glass. So you will always hear me talk with the most reverence. My favorite faux pearl in the world is from Japan. They have this amazing, almost silk-like finish on them that Hong Kong pearls don't have, Western Germany pearls don't have. It is my favorite faux pearl in the world. The only thing that's kind of close is Marvella. So this is vintage Japan, and usually we see a lot of different colors from Japan. It's very unique for them to have a solid graduated bead. Thank you. I've been changing up my setting. This is my second show on Lilyworks and about my 1300 show. So it did not always look this way. I'm always trying to get, that HSN quality shot. So, um, Japan. Now, Japan did not knot these in between, and that means that there will be some gapping right here in the back. It's a hook style clasp, 5 strands. I typically start these at 12. It's one of my goals, even if you don't get it from me, but that you all end up with, oh, that one ran for a minute, 16 to 18. So it's one of my goals that if you don't already have a Japan piece, that you pick up one, just because I'm a tactile person, and that's how I tell when the jewelry is clean. That's how I tell, where it's from, what it's made out of. And the finish on the Japan pieces is just absolutely gorgeous. If you could wear butter on your skin, um, it would be a Japan piece. Not greasy though. But yeah, just one of my all-time favorite pieces are pieces from Japan. And I wish I had more of them, because this is the kind of stuff you deserve. I was telling you about the stuff at Target, and you're too pretty for that crap. Like with $7, we can get you something cheaper and so much better. And I work about 90 hours a week making sure everything is cleaned and shipped the way I like to ship. Thank you so much always. You did take that one home. And the reason I work so hard is because I truly believe that you guys deserve the best. And I really, really try to bring that to you. So this is 18 inches, probably from the 80s. Do we remember like this color palette from the 80s? And it's a combination of glass and plastic, and then it has the screw style clasp. Yeah, we remember the blue, red, green combination from the 80s. So we'll go ahead and move this to the stage. So Wednesday night will be my show night, about 10 p.m. Eastern, and then I'm gonna have to look at the schedule and make sure I find an open slot, and I'll try out 1 or 2 morning shows. Probably not on the weekends, but just see how the morning show goes. This is cold to the touch. I'm not sure if it's hematite. It's 32 inches and it's this lovely oval shape. Now, I only bring out hematite if it is something that I don't see a lot, because in this job I see a lot of hematite, wood, and shell. And so I only try to bring you really unique stuff that you're not going to see elsewhere. But these beads are going to be so cool in this, hot summer. They have a little bit of weight to them. That's okay. I've got a little bit of weight to me as well. And they're just, thank you so much always. These will go out to you. The only bolo tie I have, excuse me, that was my pen. The only bolo tie I have, it's in a pink faux leather. It again is from the 80s. It's 34 inches. It's probably for some kind of a rodeo queen. There is a tendency for this to curve, which happens very often with bolo ties. And so one trick is if you move the lariat all the way to the bottom, and then you leave it hanging like this. Now, the only reason that didn't work on this one is this isn't heavy enough to do the work of gravity. But if you have a bolo that is turning in on itself, that will work 9 times out of 10. So, do you have some wear on her? Yeah, I found that tip on Google and I didn't think it was going to work, but I had a sell of 100 bolo ties and they're all gone. This is the only one I have left. Oh, good. We get to hear me talk about my love for the Japan pieces again. This is in a peach color. It's 16 to 19 inches. So Japan pieces usually always have the same style of clasp, the hook style clasp. It just says Japan on it. And then you have the extender. So 16 to 19 inches. And then it's important to note that not all the time, but again, probably about 90% of the time, Japan, when it does Aurora Borealis, is going to be using plastic. The spacer beads are, I'm trying to see if the spacer beads are glass. Yeah, the spacer beads are glass. So the Aurora Borealis is plastic. Yeah, so I spend a lot of time just making sure I know everything about these pieces so I can present them in a way that they're worthy of, because these are just really, really beautiful. Well, this is, I'm a farm girl at heart, and so anything I was going to do, I was going to, put my absolute soul into. So um, I think I've done about 1,300 shows because I wanted to get better at it. So thank you so much, Misbehave. Is this your first Japan piece, Misbehave? Or do you have some other ones? Because yeah, spend some time getting to know that finish. It's just extraordinary. Just my all-time favorite faux pearl. Um, Hold on, let me see what we're doing. Okay, she can't come to the jewelry party, but so when I'm cleaning the pieces, I also do quality control, and every once in a while we'll have a teachable moment. So she can't be sold, and let me just quickly tell you why. She looks beautiful. She's a big old brooch, and so I always grab the pin right here, not enough to bend it, But then I watch this, and if it's starting to spin, and I was noticing when I was fastening this clasp, I'm like, do you see how it comes out? So that's part of my quality control process. Sarah in quality control is going to get an earful. I don't know how that slipped through, but yeah. So I don't want anyone to get pingered. We test all the pins, we test all the clasps. When I say we, I mean just me. Just me. I have a corporate background. I worked in tech for a very long time. And so in tech, you always have to say we. And so it makes it sound like there's a team. Nope. There's just me. Yeah, you're definitely going to get stabbed. So see, I tried to fasten it. So this is another piece by the 80s. We're having a lot of 80s tonight. She's lucite, and she is 24 inches of checkerboard cut vintage lucite, not glass, in black. So let's move this out of the way. Let's give you a great shot there. And let's move this to the stage. Start the auction. So I did promise you some Halloween stuff. So I don't do a lot of themed jewelry. I like to choose pieces in colorways that, like for Christmas or for Halloween, that you're going to be able to wear year round. So I did bring a lot of black, and you all have been lovely. So let's try for a twofer. This is 6.5 inches. It's an enamel bracelet. It's a clamper style, and it has a security clasp and a security chain on the back. So black and cream, you'll get both of those for $7. Oh, just 1 second. That's the one we want. There we go. So just a nice twofer every once in a while to thank you guys for coming in. Hello, everyone. My name is Sarah. This is my second show ever, and well, my second show on Lilyworks, and I've been doing this for a bit. But I'm so glad you're here. We're celebrating Summerween. I love to do a good themed show, and we've got some weird jewelry. Oh, I do want to run the Napier again, because I think we were all a little bit shocked that the Napier um, did not sell. So this one is 16 inches. Well, this community, like, I just feel such peace every time I get my show ready, or I'm like, I'm going to go over to Lilyworks now. And so that's why I asked if I could do more shows, because I'm like, I really like the community. And I don't know if you've been other places online. People do fighting. And this group is so peaceful that it's good for the soul just to hang out in your chats and just see how kind everyone is. And there's enough for everybody, and everyone's helpful and talking about their day. And so I feel right at home here already. So we do have some wear on the back. Um, I measured a little bit weird. So this strand is 16, this strand is 18. Now, the reason I always measure to the first strand is I don't like it when things touch my neck. And so I always let you know what this first measurement is going to be. But overall, it's 18 inches, just because if something is going to touch your neck and you have sensory issues, I just want you to know. So here's the Napier piece. Thank you so much, Miss Behave. Oh, she's so pretty. And she's just really, really special friend. So 7.5 inches. If this was smaller, I have a 6.25 inch, 3/4 inch wrist. If this was smaller, I would keep this because it reminds me of a desert sunset. It's magenta, it's purple, and it's teal. This is wood. It's all hand done. It's very smooth. The inside is finished as well. And we'll move it to the stage. There we go. So yeah, this reminded me of a desert sunset for sure. Thank you so much, Miss. Where do I want to go now? I have an enamel clamper style bracelet. It's 7 inches and it's vintage and it's in Barbie pink, not Barbie CSI like the Barbie CSI murder necklace. This isn't for sale because I think it's really funny and it makes me laugh. So I'm keeping that one. I have the weirdest collection. One day I'm going to stop doing this and I'm just going to open up an oddities museum. That's but I do love doing this. But yeah, my heart is probably with the oddities. Clamper style. The reason the clamper style is my most popular is like me, I have a larger hand, but I have a smaller wrist. And so do you see why if we were having to go over here, we just wouldn't be able to get the job done? Thank you so much, Nancy. Gorgeous pickup. We have another vintage enamel. Oh, this one is so wild. It's about 7.25, and it's black enamel. Oh, bedazzled. Yes. Also, if anyone would like to, oh, hold on. Yeah, no, she's missing a stone right there. So I don't sell pieces with missing stones. Darn it. That thing was awesome, though. Um, oh, I have this. Hold on. We were talking about Van Gogh earlier. He loved sunflowers, so he would paint the same thing over and over. So we're lucky enough to have about, I think, 23 or 24 of his sunflower paintings. And I actually saw one at the Wynn Collection in Vegas, and it was actually incredibly messy. I was there to see a Monet, and this is 20 inches. It's J. Crew. It's not even a sunflower. I think it's supposed to be an enamel daisy, but it just reminded me of Van Gogh. And so I walked into the Wynn Collection. I don't know if you can still go to the Wynn Collection and pay, I think, 20 or 50 bucks and see Steve Wynn's amazing art collection. But I walked in and I was there for a Monet, and they had one of Van Gogh's sunflowers. And it's one of the only times in my life where, you know, that thing that happens in movies where the room gets blurry and everything stops because the Van Gogh was messy. And what I always thought was shading was grooves in the paint. The paint was so deep. And if I ever go to jail, it's going to be because I tried to touch a Van Gogh. Because I behaved myself. I didn't touch the Van Gogh. The security guard was eyeing me. He knew I really wanted to feel that texture. But I didn't know that Van Gogh, the paint is so thick that it's grooved. And so that was one of the defining moments of my life, I think, when I really fell in love with art. Thank you so much, always. We have shape. We have a nice beachy piece. We have some seed beads, and this actually is from Western Germany. So I promised you $7 starts. We'll start her at 7. I actually don't know how to do that, Carter. How do I have a mod on YouTube? So this is 14 to 16 inches here from Western Germany. And the glass does have some age. Then we have the plastic. Oh my gosh, we'd have so much fun. We would get kicked out of that gift shop. There is a thread hanging right there. So you can wear her choker length. You can wear her necklace length. Here's the mark. Let's run her. Let's see. Yeah, I think that one's above my pay grade. I just need a mod for my life. Like, I need a mod to just walk around and be like, Sarah, don't eat that. Sarah, don't buy that. Sarah, I need a life mod instead of a life coach, just someone to follow me around. I guess that's what moms are for, really, when you think about it. That's just a mom. We have a lot of Japan pieces tonight. We're very, very lucky. So this one is a twisted rope, and it's 16 to 20, so a bit longer, and it's an ivory faux pearl and black plastic, mini and very, very lightweight. And then we have the black end cap. Do you see how all the Japan pieces we've looked at, they have the same hook, and then they have the same extender as well. And so Japan has been making the same necklace for about 70 years, and they've gotten very, very good at it. So you'll usually see a double strand or a triple strand, and it will have different colors of beads. We've tried to find out if everyone is unique from each other. We haven't been able to find that information, me and the other collectors of the Japan pieces. But I've never come across the same one twice, with the exception of the ivory, just plain faux pearls I have had before. So thank you so much always. Does anyone know if there's someone after me or whether I can run longer? I didn't check, but I don't want to run into anyone else's time if there's someone coming up. So this one is 29 inches, and this is vintage. It's not cloisonné because we don't have wire work. This is actually a decoupage. And the beads do have some wear on them, but I want this to be a twofer. Now, it's not an exact match, but, and actually this piece isn't vintage. She's 6.5, and it's this foo dog. She does stretch. But look at these two together. Okay, thank you for checking. So look at those two together, and we will go, let's see, move to stage. So you'll be able to find me next Wednesday night, and then I'm going to schedule myself probably for Monday morning and see how we do there. I don't have the exact time set yet, so you'll get both of those for 7. Ooh, we've been looking at a lot of vintage. I do have a modern piece, and this one is 16 inches. We have some glass, we have plastic. Just 1 second while I fight with her. Try to get her, there we go. But look at the palette. You could wear almost any color or neutral with this palette. And then we have the floral glass. It's not wedding cake because we don't have that frosting texture, but just a beautiful floral glass. It's a rainbow. That's what that is. It's all the colors. I like to do theme shows. I don't know what the theme is going to be next week, though. So when I schedule that show, I'll have to look at the jewelry and see what kind of theme we can get going. Yeah, they really are. And they always sell the first time. Thank you so much, always. We'll put this one in with your things. Your collection is going to be magical. We also have, this is 48 inches. It's gold tone. And then we have the wire. And it's a faux pearl and a very soft ivory. Very lightweight. Oh, she has a tag. So, Sarah Cove, no relation to me. I'm a Sarah with no H. And move to stage. Start the auction. So a nice Sarah Cove piece. Typically my signed vintage starts between 12 to 16, but I just really wanted to give you guys a price break and just get to know everybody. This palette, it's soft grays and it's non-vintage. It's plastic and it is 16 inches. Now this one, this top one is 14, so it may touch your neck. And then you do have the extender as well. So it has a bit of sage to it. Just, it's a gray with just, hold on. This bead has an anomaly. I don't want to sell it. It has a shark fin. I don't like it. Let's sell you something perfect. So this is some kind of a black stone. This is hand done and it's 19 inches and it's set in gold tone. And I really want to sell the Foo Dog bracelet tonight, so we'll put this in as a twofer. This is 6.5 inches, a nice little Foo Dog. Thank you so much for hanging out, Pack Rat Queen. Honor to meet you. Foo Dog bracelet is gonna sell. We might have a glass show next week. I know I have some glass on the way. Thank you so much, always. Let's see who the bravest slash weirdest person in the room is. And usually those things I have found are the same person. Let's see who the bravest and the weirdest is. We have an evil eye necklace, but look how chic the rest of the necklace is. Now we do have one call out right here. This is where the end of the bead is woven back in, and I wasn't able to weave this back in. So yeah, who's the bravest and the weirdest in the room? Or is it me? It might stay with me because I love this thing. So let's go ahead, move that to the stage, start the auction. Okay. We have a natural stone piece. This guy is 32 inches. And you might be saying, what natural stone? Yep, all of them. Just a nice polished stone. 32 inches. I brought it because for Summerween I wanted to bring in some fall colors. So let's go ahead, move that to the stage, start the auction. Oh, you do? All the stones. Here's some vintage bling. It's 18 inches. It's a ruby red glass. She has all of her stones, but let's just do a quick triple check. I check all the stones before I come on the air, but I find underneath the ring light sometimes we find a little oopsie. And there we are. So let's move this to the stage, start the auction. Oh, that's pretty. Thank you so much, always. This next one is not vintage. It is glass, no name on her, 16 inches. Look how royal. So I'm a July baby, so I had to share my faux birthstone with you all. So I wish this is what rubies actually looked like, but good rubies look like this, but we're lucky we get to play with some glass. Yeah, this is very regal. She's not vintage, and we'll go right at 7. Let's look at some brooches. We have some animal brooches. This first one is actually a flower. It's vintage, probably from the 80s, and it's 2 inches. That Cinderella blue that I've been showing a lot of tonight, and I think it's almost all sold, the Cinderella blue, so this will match a lot of the lovely necklaces that have gone out today. Thank you so much, always. So this is an enamel bird. She's not vintage, 2 inches. And the colors we see are black, gold, burgundy, and green. Yeah, it absolutely could have. So hummingbirds, I used to have a very good friend and she would always tell me, hummingbirds are the only animal that flies backwards and upside down, and sometimes people do that too. And I believe the reason that she told this story to me over and over is because I am one of those people. I believe that was her way of lovingly telling me that my artistic march to my own drum thing is okay. So whenever I see a hummingbird, I think of her. So this is a pendant or a brooch. It was made in China. Other sellers will have this. I do try to be the best prices, and I don't source directly from China. I just sometimes rescue the pieces. So let's get this guy going. Yeah, upside down and backwards. And she told me that story over and over. She wasn't my grandma, but she was close. And so I also fly upside down and backwards. So this is a butterfly, and it's almost 2 inches. I don't think she's vintage. She has the gray, she has the black. She's not missing any stones. I think this will be our last run for the evening. I've had a great time. If you would like to see me in the evening, I think Wednesday night is going to be my night, and then I'll probably schedule a Monday morning show and a Tuesday morning show and see how those go, and just kind of see where I fit in all of this. So I do appreciate you all coming. I always end my show in the same way, um, because, the fact that you gave me an hour of your time. Well, I'm excited to get these jewels out to you, and some of you must have the most amazing jewelry collections. So, as always, if I could choose any audience in the whole world, I'd pick you. I certainly would. Please be well. Thanks, everybody. This is just the nicest group. I'm just so glad to be here. Please just have a lovely evening.